Hi, welcome to Adventures in Bonsai. Today we're going to take a look at the Bullhorn Acacia that I wired and weighted down the branches with fishing weights a few months back. We're going to take a look and see how it looks, and also the whole thing needs to be replanted and repositioned in the pot. So we're going to take a look at this interesting plant that comes from, I believe, Central and South America. It has these spines on them that resemble bullhorns that are often inhabited by small ants that drill holes in the bottom of the horns and live inside of there because the leaves of this particular acacia happen to taste good. Most acacia plants have opiate compounds in them that taste poorly, and animals avoid them. But they like the taste of the bullhorn acacia, so in order to protect itself, it's come into a symbiotic relationship with these ants. And when the tree is shaken or they notice that there is an animal nearby, they exhibit their pheromones, and they also run out and start attacking the animals that are trying to eat the plant. They also help the plant grow by cutting off new growths near the trunk where it exits the ground as it grows, to keep the area free from weeds. So it's a pretty interesting plant. This plant was just too big for me, so I wanted to try and shape it a little and change the shape a little, and we'll see what happened to it now as we remove the fishing weights. Okay, let's go take a look and see what happened. Here we have the plant. It's a very interesting plant. It's got a nice trunk, and you can see these fishing weights that I've tied on here. We're going to take these off, and then we'll take a look and see what it looks like. In the meantime, the root system here is really, it's kind of old. It's been in here for a while, and it's dry. It needs a good watering. I want to wash this out, possibly replant the whole thing. I'll see how it goes once I get this thing unweighted and off of the table. As you can see, I've had to really tie this down because the excessive weight of the fishing weights have really added to the pressures on the plant. Okay, I'm going to start to take off these fishing weights, and then I'll get back to you after I'm done. Well, I think I've removed all the fishing weights. I certainly picked up enough blood spots from those thorns. They're pretty rough to work with, but they're off now. There's a lot of weight on there pulling them down, but it seemed to help. I also had some of these branches just tied up to pull them into position. So now we're going to take this down and take a look at reshaping it, trimming it, and repotting it. Okay, so here we have it. As you can see, it's rather large and tall, and I really would like to cut it down. The question is, how much and where? And I like this stuff here coming up. I think I may have to cut off just a lot of this stuff here to make this more manageable. You could have bonsais that are fairly large and they're pretty impressive looking, but I just think it might be better to really try to cut a lot of this stuff off, shorten this tree up, and then get some more lateral growth as we get new branches coming out. So I think I'm going to start clipping up here and seeing what it looks like. And I'll get back to this area up here and this branch here. I'd like to cut a lot of this off. The question is, do I cut it off over here? Do I cut it off over here? I don't know. I'm going to start up cutting it off higher. I can always go down lower as I have to. So let's see what this looks like. Branch is a little tough to cut with these clippers, so I'm going to go out and get my more professional and better clippers for thicker branches. Okay, this is actually a pruning shear. It's what I think we need for this here. Let's go back to where we were. That makes it nice and easy. Okay, now what else do I have going on here? Well, I got this branch here that's going up and over in the middle of everything. Even though that's one of the branches we bent, I don't like the way it looks. Let me see if you can see that here. There's just too many things crossing over here, so I think I may just cut this down here and see what that looks like. Oh, this stuff is murderous to work with, folks. Get prepared to get stuck a number of times. Okay, so what do we have here now? Well, that's kind of interesting in its own way, but I see stuff that I need to change. I kind of like, let me make sure you can see what I'm looking at. I kind of like these two coming over like that. That's pretty interesting, but I got all this stuff going on in the middle. I think I need to cut some of this out and maybe shorten this here up, because I think this here should be shorter. And now I want to cut out some of the stuff that's crossing in the middle and crossing over the back that takes your eye into an area where you're not sure what's going on. I'm going to cut a piece off of here. Okay. Now it's starting to look a little better already. I think I want to shorten this piece up here. It's easier working with these clippers, I must say. Like I said, I like the way this here comes off and down here and all this stuff over here. But I want it so you can see it a little bit better. And I got this other stuff here crossing in the middle. Don't know what to do about that yet. Let me think about it. This stuff over here needs to go. It's just blocking the view. So cut off a piece. Cut this off. Now what do we have? Well, let's see. Interesting. I see some stuff up top here. It's a little crowded in here. Maybe just a couple little things will clear it up a little so you can see better in there and get some of this hanging stuff off from spider webs. Okay, I think I have the basis here for an interesting looking tree with interesting looking shape to it. And I think now I'm going to start working on repotting this thing, and then as it goes I'll see if I want to trim this down some more. I'm still thinking perhaps even of shortening these that are coming down like this. Well, I kind of like these, and I may even go and add fishing weights on these and pull these down a little further. So I guess I'll leave them on for now, because I can always do cutting and trimming later if I have to. I'm also looking at this stuff here, which is beautiful new growth, and it's coming out, but it's just a little bit low, and it may detract from the trunk here going up. I don't quite know what I want to do about that, so I'm going to leave that here for now, and I can get to it later. Now it's time to work on the root ball. Let's see what's happening. Okay, let me get two hands. And perhaps a better picture. Let's see what's going on here. Very tight. Okay. Root bound, as expected. Got to cut this off. I think the rest of this is actually okay in terms of the quality of the sphagnum moss. I'm going to just put some more in the bottom of the bowl here and then pack it up, and I think we'll be ready to go. Okay, hold on. Okay, I have here my Ginsu knife. These were popular in the 1970s and 80s. They're great. They never seem to get dull. They cut wonderfully. You can find them in flea markets and thrift shops usually, about $1 a piece. They're really great knives, and I recommend them. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut off about a ½ an inch of this. Okay, and we can take a look and we can see that the sphagnum moss really is in pretty nice shape under here. Okay, let's get into the replanting. Okay, I put a nice wad of sphagnum moss in here. We're going to have this plant really solid in here. And the question is, how do I want it positioned for the trunk? That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. I kind of like that almost vertical look about it. So certainly fits in there nice. Although I think maybe I should take a little bit of that sphagnum moss out, because this is a little too high for me. When I water it, I want the water to be able to go in and get to the plant. So I'm taking some of that out, putting this back in so it sits a little lower, as it does now. It certainly sits much better in the pot now. I'm still going to put some stuff here in the sides and firm it up. There's really not much room to work with here, which is good. That means it's in nice and solidly. Put a little on the other opposite side. This one here can use a little bit more. I can feel it with my fingers. As I push in, I feel the resistance is not that strong as it was over there. And we'll try over here, and also I got some in here. And these just act as buttresses to the plant and help it keep its position and stop it from falling out of the pot, which happens occasionally. Okay, so that's pretty good. Let me get rid of these artillery fern here. And actually, this whole thing here could use some new surface moss. So I wonder if I have any around. I'm going to go take a look. I'm going to wet this down first and water it. I'll be back. Okay, I'm just going to wet this down. Make it a little more pliable, clean it up a little too. I'm going to go get some surface moss. Hopefully I have enough to do the job. Well, it's in the dead of winter here, and I don't have any surface moss. Well, actually, I may have some in front of my house that I could use. I forgot about that. Let me go take a look. Let's go hunting for some surface moss. I have my little container here to hold it in, and my palette knife, or whatever you want to call this, scraper. Let's go take a look and see if we got anything. I often find moss patches on the front of my house over here. So let's go take a look and see if there's anything available. I see some stuff here, yeah. Okay, so a lot of nice moss here. We'll see how it lifts up. Okay, not bad. Question is, how much do we need? How much will get wasted? So, try to take enough to make sure we can do the job. That's a nice piece. Okay, let's take it back and see what we can make this plant look like. I found the best way to get these weeds out of the surface moss is to wet it down first. So that's what I'm going to do. This allows the roots of the weeds to slide out easier without destroying the configuration of the surface moss. Okay, let's take a look and see what we got here. Now what I'll do is I'll go after the nicer pieces first, or whatever appears relatively nice. Just start to pull out these weeds as best as I can. You can't get them all. There's always going to be little pieces, these dollar weeds. These are these little round ones here. They tend to have long roots. Okay, so there's a piece that's decent. This other stuff that's sticking out here, these are the reproductive organs of the moss. And that's how they proliferate, by making spores. I'm going to go and get some of this moss ready to lay on here and clean it up. Okay, Okay, so I'm just taking pieces like this here and cleaning out the weeds. You can see these dollar weeds have long roots. They're real annoying. But then you get little pieces here and you can put them in where you want to and just build it up piece by piece. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, so that's enough moss to get it going. As time goes on, it'll spread out, get fuller, look nicer. I'm just going to wash it down a little. Try to get rid of some of that dirt that was still attached to it. Okay. Okay, be right back. Okay, I'm going to clean up the pot a little. Wash it off. Try to make it look nice and neat. Then I'm going to take this instrument here, which is a spoon, a wooden spoon, and I cut the top off so it gives a slightly curved edge, and use it to help push this moss down into the pot to give it a clean, neat look. And then a little more water to wash off some of this dirt. Okay, so there it is. Certainly has interesting potential. I'm sure it'll start to grow some nice lateral growth with the new sphagnum moss in there. And we'll see what happens to this plant. I'm going to go put it back from where it came. Okay, so got the new bungee cords on, holding it up. Got my little ram there, because he's got horns and this tree has horns. And here's what it looks like at this point. A lot smaller than it was before, a lot more manageable. Great, interesting tree. Okay, have fun with your bonsai.